It's the Date Master, and yes, we're back again with another video on this early Wednesday morning. We're going to get back into it. This is part 2 of the hoax, the fake abduction story, starring yours truly, Miss Carlee Russell. Now, it appears that this case is being cracked open, and there's a lot of running around, a lot of roundabout on getting confirmation. Most recently, yesterday, the parents took to Today Show after first saying they just need privacy. You don't owe an interview or explanation to the public, the Hoover community, in which this danger was presented. If it was indeed real, you run to the Today Show because they had a check for you. So we have to make sure we're looking at all of these key points. Here you have the mother, and you look at the dynamic. Here's a picture of the mother and the father. This is public. This is a fair use reaction. Look at the father and look how docile. You could tell he's a BMP. He's a BMP. For those who know what a BMP is, you can kind of put that together. Not really saying much. And I said I wasn't going to pay attention. I saw a few clips because there's no really need. There's really no additional effort needed to try to get the truth of the story because none of it is true. You cannot get the truth out of a lie. You can get the truth or a lie, but you cannot get truth out of a lie. A lie is a lie. The truth is the truth. It's like oil and water. They have no relation to one another, because if they did, wouldn't that make the truth tainted? If they were intermingled, it's the truth on one side and it's the lie on the other side. It's hot on one side, it's cold on the other. It's up and down, left and right. See, we tend to complicate things because a lot of men who have been raised by women, mostly women, have been given too much information. As I stated in some of my older videos, it's an information overload to where the burden of performance is making them implode. You're seeing the fake stories. You're seeing the meltdowns in other countries. A woman who is conditioned to operate outside of her norm is going to default to deviant behavior. I'll say that again. A woman who is conditioned and trained to operate outside of her normal, instinctual behavior, she's going to deviate. There's going to be some kind of chaos, because the chaos is a attempt to correct or to get a feeling in which it naturally yearns for. Sometimes it is not a natural feeling. It is a feeling that they're taught to want, such as admiration. They want to be admired. They want to be worshipped. These are not natural feelings, which is why the moment they get these feelings touched, they automatically feel some type of regret, some type of pain that they hide, they cover up. You see women in small little groups that come from money running away from money because they have, I guess you would say, generational wealth remorse, because their parents did well for themselves and therefore did well for them, because they want to, or they've been conditioned to identify with the struggle, identify with being poor. See, that these women coming from privilege, trying to relate to those who do not. We have been conditioned to think we are in an all-inclusive, we should be all-inclusive. That is not how it is set up. You have animals in the animal kingdom that coexist, but they do have run-ins when violations occur. We're the only ones that have been violated with no consequences to the violators. I'll say that again. We're the only people on this earth who have been violated, yet no consequences have been given to the violators, outside of ops that look like us, whatever that culture may be to you. If they look like you, they step on your shoe, they say something about your mama, you can see it on Facebook Live, Instagram Live. They'll pull up to your house, guns drawn, over comments that you made over social media. Yet they won't have any words or anything to say to those who put them in environments in which cultivated such a poor, destructive mindset. Like rats in a trap. The rats are mad at the other rats for being in the trap with them, but not mad at for the ones who put them in the actual trap. Look at the education systems in these areas. How much did we send to Ukraine thus far? Why do your communities still look the way they do? Why is the education system still failing the way it is failing? Look at the teen pregnancy rate. Look at the dropout rate. Look at the reading levels. Look at the constant behavior that you're seeing, that you see on social media every day. And no matter what state, it's the same archetype, same profile. You literally had women coming to bat for this woman saying that we hate BWs because the story was being called a farce, as it is. The response you got from old, over-the-hill BWs was that because you're calling her out and holding her accountable, that you hate black women. Yet this goes unchecked. Which in some cases you would say that it's a good thing to not give any acknowledgement to it. But the real issue is that what puts a person in the mindset to have this as a response to a liar being called a liar? Huh? If this man is a woman beater and we call him a woman beater, am I going to say you hate black men? This is the foolishness that's constantly recycled. Just look at your music. All of our culture is connected. There's not a day that you don't get online and you don't see a conversation about a celebrity and their business. We're going to start diving into these ponds and these plants that are put into the industry in our entertainment space for us to consume and get conditioned by. This most recent Sexy Red. You're seeing her on pictures hugged up with Drake. At what point you have to ask, when did artists just come into the industry and getting immediate access to the top tier superstars who've been in 10 years plus? Because Drake came out in 2007. It is now 2023. Sexy Red came out about 5 months ago. Somebody make it make sense. So you're also seeing her going to schools, singing the songs she sings in front of 14 to 17-year-old boys and girls, children. I believe high schools go, 9th to 12th grade, which is more likely 14 to 17. You may have some 18 in there. But she's giving free reign to come into these schools singing this BS. Why do you think? You think this is just by happenstance? You think she's getting photo ops with Drake, going to schools? They're pushing a narrative. Look at the most recent Glorilla photo shoot, trying to make her do the Lil' Kim. If you notice, Lil' Kim has had every female artist who's come up after her do the exact same pose she did, because she set the tone to look the most provocative, the most sexualized. And Glorilla is not a sex. She is not that type of artist. She's not that type of woman. Yet they're forcing this. And look at the behavior that follows. That's how you have this situation you have here, where the father, and I always stated, if you have let's say a resume of unsuccessful relationships as a man, and you met the father of the woman, in most cases, he was weak. In most cases, she either cheated and broke up with you or both. But Normally they come in pairs. A relationship doesn't end without infidelity. I'll say that again. A relationship does not end without a situation of infidelity involved, or multiple situations of infidelity involved, because the confirmation to go ahead and move is already solidified that I have another prospect in place. So this won't hurt. It's kind of like, you're on your last write up at your job, but you already took your interview and you start your next job in 2 weeks. So you really don't give a damn if you get fired, but you're gonna try your best to put your 2 weeks in before they fire you. You just want to get a few more hours. She's saying this woman is in Target getting Cheez-Its. The father's only saying 3 words. You can tell he's the BMP. The mother is continuously lying, stating that there are indeed abductors, when there is not an ounce of evidence that show this. Not 1 ounce of evidence proves this claim. Yet she's given free reign to continue, but there will be consequences, as there should be. And they don't even know it. And the father is complicit, not knowing his wife and his daughter has disgraced his name and legacy forever. And he's just going to take it to the face. Fellas, I advise you to go watch my video, how to know when your chick is going to break bad. Because I see things and I just process them. And some of you chicks are about to break bad on you, and you don't have a clue. But go check that video out. I'm going to put it in the description. Matter of fact, I'm going to link it. And you can see and hear and get the perspective of what that looks like. Women are very cunning. You cannot put anything past the modern woman, no matter what race. And particularly the BW, because she has learned so much. Because we had to be slick in order to survive. You have to be cunning. You have to be able to roll and adapt. So you learn things. You learn how to get short-term pleasures and short-term, accomplishments. This is the woman's gift. She can get short-term, but she cannot secure long-term. This whole situation exposes and makes the black community look very, very ignorant, because you had those coming to bat, ready to fight, unfriending and losing relationships over a lie, because they're too emotionally invested in being a victim and identifying with the same behavior that they're capable of. You won't have a preacher or a priest protecting killers. You'll have killers protecting killers, liars standing behind liars. That's how that goes. But again, just pay attention, get your get your Cheez-Its, and pay attention to the show. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. It's the Date Master.